Anti-government violence has spread across Sri Lanka following the resignation of the Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, who quit following weeks of protests over spiralling prices. A nationwide curfew is in force until Wednesday. 5 people have been killed and 180 injured. Our South Asia correspondent Regina Vaidyanathan reports.
An island nation sinking fast. An explosion of anger after weeks of anti-government protests. As the two sides came face to face, supporters of the Prime Minister attacked the so far peaceful demonstrators who were calling for the government to go. They accused the police of failing them.
As you can see, scenes are extremely tense here. This is outside the Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa's house.
Violence once plagued this nation during decades of civil war. Now, an economic emergency has left millions struggling to survive.
It shouldn't be happening in this country. They want bloodshed again in this country. No gas, no fuel, and various essential medications. And people are suffering, and the people are living with 1 meal per day. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I'm so sorry to say this.
A cost of living crisis after a pandemic has brought thousands to the streets. They blame the government for reckless borrowing, ill-timed tax cuts, and a failed experiment in organic farming, which has driven food shortages. Political heavyweights in Sri Lanka, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and his brother, the President Gotabaya, have ruled Sri Lanka on and off for decades. Now, the man once known as the country's lion has quit. Addressing his faithful one last time, Mahinda Rajapaksa, who's also served as both President and Finance Minister, is stepping aside to make way for an all-party government.
These protesters have just found out that Sri Lanka's Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has resigned. It is a big moment for them. They have been calling for the Prime Minister and the President who remains in power to quit over this economic crisis.
Tonight, the home of a government MP was set alight by protesters. Until President Gotabaya Rajapaksa resigns, he and his party will continue to feel the heat. Regina Vaidyanathan, BBC News, Colombo, Sri Lanka.